Welcome everyone. Another episode of Tesla Club India Spaces. With me, ex-Roderji, Dr. Saab, and Sagar will be here soon too. So our first topic of discussion will be Creta Electric, followed by EV Tara discussion. Then we will take a look at couple of two-wheeler electric that were launched recently, Access from Suzuki and Activa from Honda. Then a couple of MG vehicles, one BYD, and hopefully we will have Sagar by the time and we can discuss the test drive of Mahindra EVs that he took yesterday. So you can ask questions related to that. And what else we have? Yes, we have few Tata commercial vehicles in the cargo segment, and then we have some Gensol EVs, couple of Gensol EVs. So this it can be quite long for today. So starting on, first of all, Creta Electric, we discussed it last time, you guys know. It comes in two battery pack variant, 42 kilowatt hour and 51.4 kilowatt hour. The 42 kilowatt hour has four sub variant. Its prices starts at 18 lakh, then is at 19, 19.5, and is at top one is at 20 lakh. The second battery pack 51.4 kilowatt hour, it gets two sub-variant. It starts at 21.5 lakh and the second one is at 23.5 lakh. For now, its DC charging time is 10 to 80 in half an hour. But Hyundai has stated that they will provide a update in the second half of the year. Not sure when exactly it will come. That will enable 10 to 80% charging in 39 minutes. So that would be good enough and on par with Nexon. But for now, it is limited on charging. And price-wise, I personally think comparing to the EVs we have, it is expensive if we look at Nexon or the Curve and the battery pack that you are getting. And Creta, and you get NMC pack in Creta. So, Dr. Saab, what do you think of these prices? I mean, some say that these are on par with their ICE top variants. But disregarding ICE, if we just look at EV, these do seem a little bit, couple of lakh over.
So that's I'm audible.
Yes,
Okay. So if you see 42 kilowatt hour battery pack is in four variants: executive, smart optional, and premium.
yes,
But the top variant, but the long range one, 51
yeah,
kilowatt hour is in only two,
yes,
Smart O
and
and in
excellent.
excellence. So, so first of all, what I feel is Hyundai missed a trick. They could have launched it in premium also. They could have launched it around 22, 22.50 or something. So pricing in terms of the if you see Creta has always been an expensive vehicle right from the beginning when it was launched back in 2015, I think it came. It has always been a expensive vehicle and Hyundais have always launched their vehicles at a bit premium.
Right.
Like if you see in the recent example of the i20 was launched at a higher price. Uh, then these prices are at par with their petrol and diesel automatics. But if we compare these prices with the contemporary EVs available currently in our market, they purely look expensive by 1.5 to 2 lakh straight away. So there is no argument. And even if you go to Hyundai showrooms, they also convey this that sir ki ek sawa ek lakh, it's expensive. So let's see how the market responds overall because they have got lot of the Hyundai have got I think 700 plus showrooms. I'm not sure how many showrooms they have. So, so they can probably sell it even at that price. So I have a visit again on Monday to the Hyundai showroom, uh, the dealer where I got the Kona. So so the sentiment is that it's expensive. The pricing is a bit off, but can Hyundai pull it off? because Creta has got a considerable following. People just buy it eyes closed. Just they just go. If someone has to buy an SUV today, so they just go to the Hyundai showroom and pick up Creta anyway. So how the ICE one would go into Creta EV, uh, that would be really I think that would be really to see that 2-3 महीने में हमें पता चल जाएगा क्या होगा, like in 2 to 3 months. But the major challenge which I feel is how does a new Hyundai showroom which was not selling Kona Electric or Ioniq, how they perceive this car and how they are able to sell. In my city, Patiala, I talked to one dealership. They didn't had they the car is not available yet. So I have a plan to go to one or two showrooms of Hyundai who were not selling EVs, and now they have got Hyundai Creta Electric to sell. So, but the sentiment is clear that it is 1.5 to 2 lakh expensive. उसमें तो there is no argument, I think. Yeah.
Right, right. So Dr. Saab, you told me that you also test drove one Creta. So how was it? And you also own a Kona.
Yeah, if I have to be plain blunt, you can't compare it with Kona Electric, period, because Kona Electric is at another level. Like initially, I also thought that Creta Electric would be closer to Kona Electric, but Kona Electric is at another level. My eyes have opened up.
Okay, that's
I was
interesting.
thinking, I was thinking personally that that Creta would be like it will blow away, it will blow me away. But once I drove the vehicle, and so now I realized what Kona is all about, to be honest. But yes, the interiors of Creta, the feel, fit and finish, everything is top notch. The infotainment systems, they work flawlessly. Then the iPedal driving and all the region modes, they really work very well. The features like memory seats and all those things, they really gel well. But yes, you do feel because Kona has got in Kona, it's got a little it's got a 8-inch screen which is quite adequate. But the electric features which we used to see, like once you're changing the mode, it comes on the infotainment system. Here it doesn't come on the infotainment system. It's just on the cluster. So so so, so there are things which we can't compare. But yes, Creta drives like a Creta. Creta Electric drives like a Creta Ice anyway. The suspension is not suspension was uh, always an issue with Creta, like from 2015. The whenever you drive to poor roads, in Chandigarh, you have to find some poor roads firstly. So once you drive on the poor roads, the thud comes in inside the cabin. Uh, so it is driving it is not like something new if you compare it with Ice Creta. A little bit better driving from Ice, but yes, it drives as usual. Drives the Ice one. It's not something out of the world. Like you feel that it's a Ice to EV converted car, and uh, it's fine. Like nobody will find major complaints
Okay.
because Creta suspension is like whenever you drive it on the potholes, the thud comes into the cabin. That's a major pain point. Otherwise, all the modes, all the electronics, everything works very well in Creta Electric. So there is no problem in that front actually.
I mean,
So I would have, yeah.
being Hyundai, we expect the electronic and all of our EVs to be sorted out already.
Yeah, everything related to like all the functions which the touchscreen didn't hang and everything was working well. I spent around 1 hour with the vehicle. Didn't drove with drove only for 10 to 15, I think 15 kilometers. So all the iPedal and the regenerative functions, everything worked flawlessly. Only thing I would have loved would have been the bonnet of Creta is really heavy. Once you're providing the front, you should give the hydraulic struts so that it opens easily. Once that bonnet is very heavy, so I would invariably not open my bonnet to use the frunk.
That is have a usable front.
Yeah, it's usable. You can put in your charger and all those things. It's usable. It's not that it's not usable.
What's the ground clearance on Creta? Because the battery pack is hanging below.
They say it's around 200
With
mm.
that battery pack hanging below.
Yeah, with that battery bank hanging below, I think Akhil sir will also add on, because in our Kona Electric, you only have that battery hanging, but in the Creta, you have a complete cover. I have a video of of, of what do you say of the floor of the Creta. So it's got an additional cover. In Kona, it's just battery, but here it's got an additional
Is
cover.
that cover of metal or some fiber plastic?
It seems like a plastic stuff. I didn't touch that, but it seemed like next I have to visit again on Monday. Us time pe, I will just see it again.
Because in the Tata EVs, it's like a fiber plastic, and many have had issues with replacing it.
No, it should it would be the hard one. I think it maybe some. I've not touched it, but yes, there is a cover, which is a proper cover over the
Okay,
battery.
okay, that's
And it's completely covered, like it's pure, it's completely covered from the front, like there is no gap something will enter inside or something, but there is a big gap in the rear, where you feel that they could have added some more cells. They would have added more battery pack in the rear. I will send you the image.
I mean,
uh,
we saw the battery pack graphic. They also have quite a lot of space in front also.
Yes, yes. Even in the rear, I find it there is a gap where you can literally pour in the what do you say? It could have accommodated more battery pack. Maybe they didn't want it to, or there might be some other reasons. Not expert into that. So one interesting thing is, Hyundai manager uh, contacted me that, sir, what would be the USP of our battery? So I told him, please, better not to go into that. So you just sell it how it set it on the features. So people now, whenever we meet, there are people who really are aware about NMC and LFP. So it is what it is. But yes, it's not like that. It's not a poor car by any
No,
standard.
yes, yes.
Like, I'm just sharing the cover image, just sharing you in the group.
So last time we speculated that the Creta might be sharing its battery pack with Inster EV that they are selling right now in Europe and Korea. So Inster and Creta both get a base pack of same 42 kilowatt hour, so that might be having some sharing. But the top one, Inster, has 49 kilowatt hour with a usable 46 kilowatt hour. But in the Creta, the total is 51.4. Not sure how much the usable will be. So at least the top pack is not being shared. That's we know for sure.
So if you compare it, like in Kona, you get those energy information insights. I was actually, maybe once you drive one car, you expect that it should be in the other also, no? So I was expecting that there would the energy information stuff coming. It's not there. Even in Kona, once you get into the modes, you can select level of region and speed limit also. But here you can only adjust, do it in eco, where you can just reduce the like similar one in the Nexon, where you can have your AC control into eco mode, economy mode. So you can do it in eco. You can add more eco. So it's like that. I've just shared the images which I got. So if you can zoom, you can see that cover. It's quite a sturdy one.
Yeah, that seems solid enough. So Rishabh is asking thoughts on exposed battery of Creta EV. So it shouldn't have happened, but it is there. I don't think it should be a issue. It has a good enough ground clearance. Akhil, if you are here again, uh,
Yes, hi, good evening.
hi Akhil. So what are your views on Creta Electric and its price? And have you got chance to check it out compared to the Kona you own?
Yeah, see, overall, as Dr. Faruqi said, it's a great all rounder. Many reviews have also mentioned it. Totally agree. Pricing, I don't know. We'll have to see how it does. But as again, as Dr. Faruqi said, the Creta has a separate fan base.
Right.
I would compare it to the Krista kind of craze that people have, and I think it will sell in good numbers. They have a winner on the hands simply because it's more or less at 20, 22 lakh even for the top end. Uh, so if you compare to the ICE variants, I think there is some level of parity there. So I think it should do well. And just wanted to touch upon that point about the exposed battery
Battery.
pack. What people can see, it's obviously very evident. It doesn't look very confidence inspiring at first sight, but I think it's solidly built and it's money. So it should not be a problem, but optics is an issue for sure.
It is definitely. I think Citron also had exposed battery pack or some other EV. I'm not sure right now. So that looked separately in the pictures, and it was like very weird. Aditya, so I think you are joining for first time. Uh,
Yeah, hi. Hello everyone.
so if
Um,
you want to share anything regarding Creta EV, or if you
yeah,
have already
actually, I
tried.
joined because I checked out the car today itself. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So I had the opportunity to check. So what I got to know from the car, basically, this is that I firstly wanted to find out what is the number of bookings from the dealer. All right.
Right.
So I did check that, and they have said they've got around 100 bookings till now at that showroom.
100.
100, you can give me an exact figure,
But yeah,
but like approx figure.
I mean, 100 at a location is quite good.
Yeah, I would just, if Nikhil, you could increase your volume.
Yeah, your volume is pretty low.
I mean, I'm as close as possible.
Being from Haryana, your volume should not be low, brother.
I'm in the same setup I was last time. I don't know why it's slow this time. Maybe I have a network issue.
I checked mine, it is high.
Okay, okay. I will speak loudly.
वो गुड़गांव वाली आवाज नहीं आ रही तेरे से अभी ना वो मतलब वो
Okay. ठीक है. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Aditya, continue.
Yeah, so I did check the car. I checked both the Creta and the EV side by side, so I had a good perspective to compare the cars. Uh, Fit finish was as you can expect from a Creta. It was perfectly fine. And I did notice, yeah, I did notice that battery which we were talking about, that extended battery.
Right.
It felt a little weird from the close, but I don't think it will be a big issue considering the height of the car from the ground. Like I think Dr. He pointed out. So that is very much clear. I don't think there'll be a huge problem. And coming to the pricing, what I believe is that the starting variant is fine, but the highest variant could have been a little bit lower.
I think if they
That's
started
what I
at
feel.
16, it would have gotten much more attention from people and especially EV owners.
That's true. That's true.
I think they didn't wanted any attention because, as Akhil sir pointed, that it's got a Krista-like following. He's absolutely bang on. That point we everybody misses because uh, because I was in the showroom. So there was a guy who was talking about like I have a Creta ICE. I want to convert to EV. So they were discussing. I was just overhearing their discussion. Sir is absolutely right. It's got a Krista-like following. People may call it Chapri and all those things, but eventually, what will matter is the sale numbers. And another thing I want to add, 51 kilowatt hour booking. The dealership which I went, they told me that 51 kilowatt hour is that pack is getting more booking. He didn't share me any numbers because the main manager was not there. I've been meeting him on Monday. But there is a sentiment that it's kind of 1 to 1.5 lakh expensive. That is given.
I was
Yeah,
checking.
that's what even everywhere told there as well. Exactly.
I was checking out the length and breadth, etc., of the Insta EV. It's a punch size vehicle. The length are about just 2 mm difference. So I think Hyundai just should keep the 51.4 battery kilowatt hour battery pack on Creta and bring the Insta at 42 kilowatt hour. Keep there would be some difference, and people would get one more option for an EV. They have already started deliveries of Insta in some countries.
What I wanted to just point out is like Insta as a car, do you really think Hyundai as a company will bring a brand new model like that for India?
I doubt that Hyundai would, but they should. That's what I'm saying. That maybe they should. So yeah, Rishabh is asking about the safety of Creta EV. So I think being a EV, it should be much safer than a ICE variant. Uh, yes, safety ratings are still not out, so cannot comment anything on that.
Another thing they missed it. They have not mentioned about the uh, that 15 ampere portable charger. They have not mentioned how much time it takes to charge 42 kilowatt hour and 51 kilowatt hour. It's not mentioned anywhere in the brochure. I'm I don't know why they missed it. No idea. And 11 kilowatt AC charger, it would be difficult for people to get it installed because most of us are at 7 or 8 kilowatt households. So that's another pain point
I mean,
basically.
it has 11 kilowatt capability. So, just for general, people keep confusing that. It doesn't mean that you have to install a 11 kilowatt charger at your home. You can install a 3 kilowatt one, or you can install the 7 kilowatt one. It is
Yeah, yeah, you're
your
right, you're right,
necessary to
right.
go for the highest peak possible of the vehicle. And I think for the
Right,
size
right.
of the Creta, you don't need 11 kilowatt at your home. 7 kilowatt would be just fine. And if your drive is like 50 or 60 kilometer, even a simple plug point would do.
I think they should have done it with, they should have given the 7.2 also, and or maybe it should have been bundled in the package, and 11 would have been optional, something like that. And they should have at least told the customers that how much time it takes to charge it from a portable charger. They've missed it. I don't know why. And another thing I want to add, the quality of the portable charger, which is in Kona. And if you compare, and I saw the Creta one, like it's it is poles apart. I missed the video on in the image of it. Next time I will click the image of it. Uh, it's not it's not like I have to compare both, but uh, just how an Kona owner went to see a Creta Electric. But yes, now I realize how much better the Kona Electric is. I used to feel that yes, I used to feel that Kona Electric, it would Creta Electric would be like it, Kona Electric. But now my perspective is literally changed.
Dr. Faruqi, if I may. So the I
Yes,
think the
yes.
charging time on the portable charger, in a way, it is good that it is not mentioned because I don't know if you recall 2019 when they launched the Kona, they I think they publicized this part and it took on a very
Yes.
negative turn. Everybody said the Kona needs 15
Yeah.
hours to charge and it became a laughing stock.
Yeah, and even in the brochure, it is 19 hours. I just checked the
Sorry, 19
brochure
hours.
of Kona
Yeah.
Electric. Yeah, it's written 19
So
hours.
it
Yeah,
became it at
you're
that
right.
time it had become a sort of a joke. I mean we're still talking 2019, 2020, right? People now at least
Yeah, yes.
realize a lot of things, but back then it was like a shock for people when they saw 19 hours I need to charge my car. Then that put a lot of people off. So I think consciously they may have omitted it.
That's a good point you have there.
Hello.
Yes, it could be like that. Yes,
Then
yes.
yeah, the second part what you mentioned, the portable charger. So
The quality of
yeah, what's happened over a period of last 4 5 years is a lot of these things have started being manufactured here, or at least assembled here. So brands have gone in for a lot of localization. I mean, I didn't take a look at the charger myself, the portable box myself, but I assume
There was some sticker. I am assuming that it is still imported because there was some sticker in Korean language. I would check it again once I am going on Monday or Tuesday. I will check it once again.
Okay. So,
It is imported. It is imported.
okay, then I'm
It's not
mistaken
made in India.
because I assumed they had just localized it because it's a pretty simple thing to manufacture or assemble here.
Once I saw it, I thought that it is locally manufactured, but now I think that it's also imported. So anyway, now I realize what kind of vehicle Kona Electric is, what is difference between a CKD unit and a Indian made unit. Now I literally realize it. I used to sometimes say, I think I will upgrade to some another car. Now I literally realize after seeing B6 and all those cars, now I realize a CKD is a CKD period.
So
Right. I mean, not to say that Indian manufactured chargers or boxes are inferior or build quality is bad.
Nothing. Yeah,
Just that we have different
that
ranges
I
of
agree.
quality here itself, just like how they have
Yes,
different
yes, yes.
quality abroad.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely right.
so Hyundai should still bring the higher battery variant of the Kona to India. It's
Exactly. It can go straight away to the Atto 3 as Atto 3 rival. They still can
yes,
bring it and still can have a competitive
that
price.
I think it should definitely.
My personal take is that the Kona has run its at least saleable value as a first car because of a 64 kilowatt hour pack. Um, it's not going to get you like 2x the range, right? It will probably get 40-50% more. And it will probably be priced around the 30 lakh mark or 25 to 30 lakh mark. And it will not be competitive considering the space and the constraints the car has.
Especially after the Mahindra EVs.
Akhil sir is absolutely right. I think Kona is now RIP in India, and we have 2000 plus classic owners. And with coming time, we may be the only owners, and we can have some numismatic value with this car.
I mean, Kona was the first proper four-wheeler electric in India, and you guys were Akhil, Arun, and
Absolutely
you.
right.
So these guys were the first among it.
No, no. If I may interrupt, I have been following Akhil sir and Arun sir right from their Kona experience.
Right.
It w- they they were the two people who were like everything was available on Twitter about Kona via these two people. Hyundai should credit them at least. They are the real EV evolvers. They want to make a club now, so they should be the admin of
I
that
got to
club.
know these guys a few months before Kona started selling, early 2019, and I think it was mid 2019 when Kona was launched, and these guys got delivered at June, July, something like that. So that definitely started the India's EV journey.
If I may add, both have solar and both have got solar and EV. That combination that really gave the right message.
And still, yeah, it's still going strong. The vehicles are still going strong. But yeah, so so, so let's
Now
go, Akhil,
we,
now to.
Arun and I are on a activity to accumulate as much lithium as possible by way of EV battery.
Right, right, right.
I mean, you guys can keep recycling your batteries and keep using forever.
Yeah, the plan is to take as much lithium from China as possible. Keep it here in India.
It's cheaper now. So let's mix in e-Vitara with this. So e-Vitara will come with 49 and 61 kilowatt hour, and it will have LFP, BYD blade cells. You get those in Mahindra also, and Maruti says this will be made in India for the world, yeah, etc. etc. They haven't given any prices yet. Level 2 ADAS, 7 airbags, so that's good. And what else we have? They have charging schedule available, trip planning, 360-degree camera, that's some good stuff. Uh, the range they claim to be 5500 plus, but we will wait for the WLTP version. That's more accurate for us. So what are your guesstimates on the prices of this? Uh, where do you think Maruti would like to this to play? Akhil, you go first.
Hard to guess the price, but I suppose if they have to be competitive, if they intend to sell in good numbers, it should be sub 20 lakhs.
But do they
Similar
intend
to,
to sell?
sorry,
But do they intend to sell? It's still
publicly, I don't want to say, but it does look like they're very serious about it.
okay. Uh, because before even starting the deliveries, they said that if you want to, we will lease you an ICE version if you want to the EV owners. And some say that okay, this might bring some more owners, so that's definitely a point. But I think that Maruti should bring a general point that you can lease an ICE or an EV to the ICE owner if they want to try it out. So they should make it even across all. Just to not say that we will give ICE to the EV owners.
No, one way that is a nice thing, in my opinion, because there are a lot of people sitting on the fence. There are still a lot of people who are scared to take their EVs out, even the early adopters. Somewhere they would have had a bad experience at a station, and they say, okay, I'll for longer trips, I will still take my eyes.
Right, right, right.
So I mean, it's difficult to convert a bad experience into a good one over a period of time. So I suppose that gives some comfort to the people who are sitting on the fence. But on the other hand, I agree with you. It's not really a great picture to portray.
I mean, you haven't even showed the price yet, and just wait a couple of months to start delivery, then bring out this that okay, our owners might need this.
No, see, if they want to take a nice car, it's very easy. There are so many uh, options available in terms of car rentals and so on. It's not a big problem as such. But I, I think people should just experiment or at least push their comfort zone by stretching their EV or over a long drive and then experiencing a charging station and then getting that confidence instead of having going the safe option saying that okay, long drive more than 300 kilometers, I'm going to take my eyes because Maruti is giving me that option. That's only if that learning curve will actually get implemented.
Vishnu, yeah, right, right.
Yeah, so my point is, I know for longer drives, to take EV out, one thing is that charging infrastructure is still poor, and the major impact is what I feel is that there is lack of maintenance. So I am following two people on YouTube, and their experience with EVs in long drives is that most of the chargers which they end up using, they either don't work properly or are being overutilized by many people. So, for example, in some locations, there are only one or two points, and people who are using it will be many. So that is why I feel that people are still reluctant to take their EVs out for longer drives, say longer than 250 kilometers.
So Vishnu, I think if you encounter a bad charger on highway, it's most probably at a fuel station from BPCL or IOCL. Majority of time,
Yes.
if you have seen the startup, we have the Geon charging, static, charge on, and so many others. They are majorly reliable. But yes, the oil marketing companies they have a issue, and so that's definitely a point. Uh, and the second one, you said about what was the second point? Sorry.
Yeah, no, my second point is that like how the charging infrastructure is laid out. See, for example,
Yeah, one or two points.
in some locations, there are very few points,
So it's
and people are overutilizing it. Like, so, for example, so it becomes, see, some people, end up using it for like 1 hour or 2 hours, which causes inconvenience to others.
so that's a point that some people don't know when to stop charging and they just go for the full 100%
Ex-
charge. So
Exactly.
that was a issue with Tata owners especially. They had some battery issues and people were it was forwarded by many that you just charge to the full 100% every time on the DC. So that's a point we mentioned that just on the public chargers just to charge enough that you need and move on. And yes, there are some location as EVs are increasing, so you might encounter some wait time, but now the CPOs have started installing charger with 3 and 4 guns, and they are only increasing. The investment is increasing, so yes, there will be some growing pain at some locations, and locations are being upgraded. Akhil, Geon keeps upgrading the location from one charger to 2 or 3 chargers with multiple guns, so that's happening.
Yes, of course.
And if you personally encounter a charger which has such problems, so just let us know. Maybe we can forward to the CPO. They can look into it, installing at more chargers there.
See, additionally, I would just like to make a quick point. Uh, See, the importance of, I think Nikhil mentioned it, the importance of selecting a reliable, I don't want to take names since I'm in the industry. The importance of selecting a good provider. It is just like how you would have your preferences over, let's say, food or coffee. We all have this kind of idea that, X or Y brand is good, bad, average, and so on. So the importance of selecting a good provider will take will solve this problem in a very big way. And yeah, the
Exactly.
problem is so the infrastructure is not poor. Let's say compared to a few years ago, uh, the problem is getting the locations right, the strategic points where people might want to use stations. That is still an evolving concept that people are getting it, including us at Beyond. We are getting it right and wrong in equal measure. So that is going to get solved as more and more providers keep rolling out more and more chargers, and there will always be a dense enough network for people to have a backup option at least if something is occupied and people are not willing to uh, you know stop charging beyond what they need.
And already there are some location where now 3 and 4 CPU at the same, literally side by side. So yes, the infrastructure is increasing, it's improving. Yes, there will remain some issue here and there. But we recently did a thread, especially after this point. We did thread of about I think more than 20-30 people who had driven thousands of kilometers in just a few months. Cross 40,000. Someone did 40,000 in 1 year. So people are doing long distance travel. So bad experience here and there, it doesn't mean that everything is as a whole is bad. Yes, some location, particular location might be problematic, etc. So that becomes a separate issue.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, the tide is positive. So people are, considering EVs like compared to say 4 to 5 years back. The situation is now much more greener,
Definitely.
is what I meant.
Yes, yes. I mean, in the last place I told, I went to village and I saw a couple of family members discussing about buying an electric car, and I never expected to hear about electric car in that region of Rajasthan. So that was just, I mean, wow. And they knew the battery pack capacity and all. I was surprised, very, very surprised. So definitely people are becoming aware, and and they knew about the main point that it's so much cheaper to run. They said that we will get a 3 or 5 kilowatt solar, and it would be almost free. So the awareness is definitely increasing, and it's going to just increase.
Yes, I just want to raise one point. Yes. So myself, Suhail, I'm the founder of Electric. So as we were discussing earlier, and Dr. Saab raised the point of BPCL and IOCL charging stations.
Yeah.
So currently, Luby has made a partnership with BPCL. So I think if more and more charging stations are installed in the petrol pump stations, and more creditable CPOs are installing them, then I guess that will release the fear of the charging station anxiety.
So, in a week or so, Priyan's experience with EVs, he has calculated all the data. So we are going to put out a thread that will show that how the other CPUs that have installed at fuel station are working, and how the companies that themselves have installed, how those chargers are working. So the difference is very stark. And yes, if other CPUs have, many CPUs have installed at fuel station and they are working fine, better than these installed by the oil marketing companies. So that becomes a whole separate discussion, and we will have it some spaces in future.
Okay.
Aditya, anything else to add?
Yeah, about the e-guitar, I think we were discussing. I checked out the brochure in detail. They have made a pretty good brochure, I think. So what I got to know is first thing which clicked my mind is the screen layout,
I don't know
the
about the
infotainment and the driver display, basically.
yeah. I mean, physically,
One is
and
10.1,
and the
and
bezel is so huge, and the screen it seems so width is. I don't know what they have done there.
like how are the designers exactly approving this?
I don't know. I mean,
Like,
someone said that he liked it, and I was very surprised that how can you like that? So
yeah, it's completely misaligned. Like one is a bigger screen, another is there's a huge bezel above that.
yeah. So
So that was one big turn off for me when I saw these pictures. And another thing is that, but I still feel even after this design thing, it will be one of the more successful EVs from the in Indian market because it's Maruti after all.
I mean, if yes, if Maruti prices competitively and they are honest about selling it, and it happens to have a sorted software, hopefully, I think it has BMS is just straight from BYD, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't have issues. And if they are honest, I think this can do well, uh, assuming its
Because
pricing.
But
it's a
don't you
complete
think
product, right?
that because they are sourcing the cells from BYD and the BMS as well from BYD, the cost will be expensive because BYD would be charging them a bomb, as they did with Mahindra. The main reason the pricing is high is because they are paying BYD for the cells.
So, Tata also
But
pays Goshen for the cell. So that's not a issue. LFP prices are very cheap now.
But one thing I wanted to ask about that isn't the thing with like for Mahindra the BMS the cells they're borrowing from BYD, but the BMS is made in Mahindra, right? Or am I wrong?
No, BMS is by Mahindra, but the cost for the patented cells of BYD
Yeah, exactly.
is very high.
Yes, yes.
So that is why they had to raise their cost.
BMS, they have built it based on so there is some level of collaboration on BMS is there between BYD and Mahindra. It's just not purely by Mahindra. Uh, from what we know, there is some collaboration there.
So the expected pricing from my end will be around the 18 lakh mark, is what I feel.
It should, I mean, if they can, yes, it would be better if they, like the base variant 4950 kilowatt hour, it's at 18 lakh, because that's where around curve 45, curve 55 is. So that would be a good start. But if it starts at about 20, that would be a bit of issue.
Yeah, that's a big issue. 20 lakh starting for a Maruti will not be a huge thing.
Tell you what's
So, my turn now.
your mic.
Yes. So, it's interesting to see. So, do you see everywhere which you are, whichever app you are using, which wherever you are going, even if you go into the YouTube videos, e-Vitara TVC is coming like again and again and again. So, in terms of marketing, Maruti is taking the right step. First things first.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in
No, no,
YouTube.
you just see YouTube and you just see any app. I just started the Hotstar app to watch the India-England match, and Avitara's TVC was there. So, TVC is coming where it should be coming. So Maruti is marketing it right way, and even in the expo, you had lot of Evitaras over there.
Okay.
So their focus was right on the Evitara. The benefits which I see is India would be the manufacturing hub for EVs for Suzuki. So that's a good thing. Everything will be exported. So quality control would be kind of better
Localization will be
versus
more.
the other. Uh, so in terms of how the product would be how it would be. So I don't think so. We should be worrying that much. Even now, they are marketing. There is a TVC on the YouTube channel of Nixa, which says that it's a born EV, and it is focusing on that. And I almost have seen all the interviews of Mr. Banerjee. He's saying again and again 500 range, 500 range. Hope it is not the ARI one.
Yeah.
So let's wait for that. Second thing he's emphasizing is that Maruti will be installing the charger at your home. It's not the third party operated. And then he told in an interview to NDTV, I think it was with Mugdha Mishra. So he pointed that we would have a app which would, and they are collaborating with the CPOs.
Right.
So how does it comes up? That would be that we have to see. So my expectation is 16 lakh to 22 lakh. It has to undercut Curve and this Hyundai Creta Electric. They are not going. They are not going into competition with the Mahindras anyway because they've got a bigger battery packs and that category is aspirational. So
And
no Maruti car competes with Mahindra cars anyway.
if it comes at 16 lakh, I would be banging it everywhere. That yes, go buy this. Because
Uh, Dr. Sab, so if I can
yeah,
reply to your 2 points that you raised, I think the person
Yes.
that you listen to, he may be off the mark because Maruti has already reached out to the regular installers of home chargers and have been appointing them.
No, no. So he was saying
So,
in the interview. I saw his interview.
yeah,
He said that
I think
the
he's off.
guys would be from Maruti. He's the main lead, Mr. Banerjee. So I was listening to him. I was making post Auto Expo. So I was just I was just listening to the interviews of everyone, every sales marketing head, I think, if I may call. So he clearly said that Maruti would be installing these for you and something like that. I have that interview also with me.
I think all automakers say that we are installing, but it's always someone else because it's
No,
not
I see no automaker has a bandwidth to go out and install it in every, like, direct employee or a direct representative. They won't be able to do it.
it's too costly for
So
them.
they've, like I said, they've already started appointing companies to go out, and the guys who are already doing it now. So the same people have been approached for installation, and I think they have appointed a few already in some zones. So, of course, as far as the customer is concerned, it's going to be a Maruti installation, but it's carried out by their contractor.
So that
Um,
means they are being hired by Maruti for a contract, right? They're not doing something like like Hyundai did. We had to call the Tata Power guys. So it's not like that, right?
no, no, technically no, because see, what's happening is normally you don't have the customer doesn't have to reach out to the installer directly. It's usually handled. Everything is handled by the dealership in normal operations. As a normal procedure, that's what they're supposed to do. The dealer is supposed to take care of all this. Um, so that way, everybody's got their own sort of uh, approved contractor list who, on the automaker's behalf, goes out and installs it. Like for a period of time, Alliance was doing it for Hyundai. Now there was this other company, eCharge based. They were also doing it. Tata Power was doing it for a point. Yeah. So there are many companies like this.
Right.
Right, right. I got your point. So one thing is sure that they're taking care of the infrastructure. They are taking care of the pain points which we can say or the points which a fence sitter is worried about. And
Correct.
that incentive which they said that we will give a loan to an ICE car, I didn't like it because if your car is giving a 500 range, who would require a ICE car anyway, wherever I go. So no idea how they came up. Yes, it could be the another argument could be that it could give someone who is just converted to an EV, or maybe initially they want to give this kind of service once they don't have chargers everywhere. Once they have chargers everywhere, I don't think so they would have this kind of a problem. Maybe it's like initial batches.
I mean, Maruti, if the install at highway is good, but I think they are going for dealerships So I mean, yeah, it's fine, but it's not a desirable place to charge, especially at a Maruti one. So many cars.
No, there was this discussion, and again earlier also this point came across that there should be more chargers at petrol pumps. See, I think all of us listening either have an EV or very interested or have some level of knowledge about charging and
Right.
the whole experience around it. The general tendency, at least my personal opinion, and I've spoken to a few customers, uh, the tendency, or at least who, or very to be very honest, who wants to go to a fuel pump for more than 5 minutes, right? So you don't want to hang around for half an hour in a fuel pump, and if it's got amenities, great, nothing like it. If it's got like a restaurant or a coffee shop or something, there is something for the EV owner to do.
Akhil, if
But
you
That's right.
as a general tendency, even ICE owners, when I had my ICE car, it's not like the most desirable place to be in, right? You don't want to hang around a fuel pump more than you have to.
Correct, correct. But
So
I was,
Yeah, absolutely right, sir. So,
yeah,
same thing applies to a dealership also, right? So as it is, dealerships in many metros are starved of space. Where if they have a service center, it's even worse. And there is always a problem with parking. And dealerships would not like to give up their prime parking spots to an EV charger. They will place it somewhere in a corner or something like that where it's not easily accessible.
and likely to be
Um,
iced.
so
no,
it's not like the best place to have chargers.
actually,
I agree with you.
the only
But
problem with these few petrol owner, like if you got the HP or BPCL, what they're doing is they are just installing, either they're installing a small kilowatt charger just to show that we have complied with the government norms, or their 60 or 30 kilowatt charger is not working. So that's a big pain point. Akhil sir is absolutely right. If I have a choice, I would rather stop at a restaurant which has got a seating place with my family. I would be reluctant to charge at a fuel station. If there is no option, then I have to go to that fuel station only. That is another thing. But the GOBP guys which are coming with their fuel stations, they've got a tie-up with the coffee. I think there is a firm. I just forgot the name, Wild Beam or something. So they have kind of a food joint. So, so there I may stop for charging. But Akhil's point is absolutely valid.
no, the point is, so
Nikhil always
the
says
point that
that
I
they
was
are.
making earlier was not regarding the what would be the preference of a customer going to a fuel station and charging. It's just related to find the charging station anxiety. No one would prefer to go to a fuel station and charge their vehicle, but if there is a facility of getting your vehicle charged, then the anxiety of long drives or interstate trips would at least reduce, because you would know that you might find a charger nearby which can help you to say charge you to 30-40%, and then you can find a nearby restaurant or a mall where you can go and charge your vehicle.
See,
Yeah,
so
that is right. More
regarding
charges will always help. That is right. But what they're doing is they're installing lower kilowatt chargers. It's like
Correct,
home
correct.
chargers they're installing. That is the pain point. They need to install it to
Yes.
30 or 60. You are absolutely right that these would help us
Yeah,
with
so
the
like
anxiety and
INH
all
could
those
give
things.
you, yeah, in BPCL, like INH, it gives you a minimum of 30 kilowatt charger, but as you pointed out, that most of them are not working. So if they partner with good CPOs who have good credit in the market, so that at least a charger with one or two guns at least, so that would help in adoption as well, because people would know that okay, the charging station is nearby. Even if it's I just need to stand there for 15-20 minutes for a fast charging and get up to 30% of my battery, and then go to a nearby restaurant where I can sit and have a meal and get my batteries charged.
see when
So
this
there are two angles to this, right? More chargers are always good. It's the best case to have. But if you are looking at it at a point where there are so many chargers, both in fuel pumps and in food court and restaurants and coffee shops. If somebody is using a charger at a petrol pump just for emergency, right? It's not his first preference. Then it becomes a viability issue for the CPO also, because the charger is not going to get fully utilized. So there is money sunk into that location, but people are not preferring to charge there. As only as an emergency they're coming and using it. So it starts to become unviable for everybody, both for the fuel pump owner, for the CPO, even at a certain level for the customer also. So
Correct.
long term, this is not going to be a workable solution, in my opinion. As long as
Correct.
the fuel pump has amenities, nothing like it.
Yes, yes. So there has to be a trade-off. Um, so there can be a branding from the CPOs that look, we are available everywhere, like it was earlier when Maruti came into the Indian market. So the Maruti service stations were everywhere, everywhere. So similarly, a CPO can brand that their chargers you can find that everywhere. I agree with the cost point of view; it might not be viable for them, or they might not prefer it. But if they are trying to convert people from ICE to EV, and knowing that petrol stations are available everywhere, so during an emergency, if someone needs to charge, especially on interstate trips, then I guess this would be a good sign for people to convert to an EV.
I think here the cost point here, the government subsidy comes for the chargers. So here that can really help for these chargers to install, and that cost factor can really be taken care of, right?
Totally,
That
yes.
sub that subsidy is totally being misused right now, as majority of chargers are offline, and government has given these
Exactly.
companies
You're right, that
subsidy codes. See, so that's our taxpayer money. The government is providing our money to these companies to earn, and they are not doing it. So that's a total fail point. But what I was saying that even 3 year ago there was this discussion, and I said that the best place to put a charger at a fuel station is that on a highway. There is high possibility that the fuel station is along with some kind of a restaurant or a hotel or a dhaba, so that
Yes.
place makes sense. But cities and some faraway area where it might not see use, that's the least of these. And they should definitely partner with some reliable CPO instead of trying to do it on themselves that they have done till now. So I think we should move on to next topic. So let me rant a bit about Honda Activa. So, they have finally showed the pricing of Honda Activa, and they have made it worst possible electric scooter to buy. They you can So it comes in two variant, Activa E and there is QC1. So E has a swappable pack and QC1 has fixed pack. But the problem with the swappable pack is that you cannot charge the pack yourself. It has no home charging capability. You cannot charge your EV at home. I'm not sure who approved it. Whoever did shouldn't work in EV industry, frankly. So they have
Yeah, that deserves hate.
So the Activa E, the swappable pack, it has two packs of 1.5 kilowatt hour, so 3 kilowatt hour in total. It has two variant. One is kind of smart feature, etc. The pricing is 1.51 lakh just for the vehicle, and you cannot charge it at home, right? And the second one, kind of basic one, it has 1.17 lakh price. Now how do you charge your vehicle? You swap it at Honda stations, and it has two plans, basic and advanced. Basic, it has 2000 rupees per month, and you will get energy of 35 kilowatt hour only. After paying 1.51 lakh, you will only get 35 kilowatt hour for 2000 rupees. And for the extra, you get you will have to pay 35 rupees per kilowatt hour. So I mean, it's worse than the higher possible DC charger that you can find in India.
Nikhil, you have to write an open letter to Honda guys from your official handle. You have to officially email them, brother.
And the advanced feature, it will give you 87 unit per month at 3600 rupees monthly. This is the monthly charge that you have to pay apart from buying the vehicle at 1.5 lakh, and you cannot charge it at home. So apart from that, there is 10,000 rupees for 5 year of service and warranty. uh, so it's just I'm not the pricing doesn't make any sense. It's like they definitely don't want to sell it, they have made it clear. And the fixed battery pack version, it has just the battery capacity of 1.5 kilowatt hour, and it will be at 90,000. I'm yeah, and still 10,000 rupees for, so it's kind of, yeah, maybe it might make sense, but I don't know. This is a failed version, and it's definitely aimed at giving EVs poor name, that these are not selling, people are not buying, whatever, whatever. And I'm not sure who would buy it, and definitely cannot recommend it. I think this is the first vehicle I've seen. I will not and cannot recommend it to anyone.
You need to keep 1 minute silence with all these things, you know.
Yeah, silent. I mean, these Japanese companies, we already know, Maruti and Toyota, they already have these tactics of delaying EVs. But to butcher something like that, I mean, this is the, I have written in my tweet that this is the most garbage pricing we have ever seen. And who is their target? We don't know. Because in the 90,000, they are giving the 1.5 kilowatt hour version. You can get a S1 X3.
And I fail to understand. Kunal Kamara should tweet about this rather than tweeting about Ola.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, and media was portraying it at Activa at 1.17 lakh. I was like, okay, here, nowhere. You will have to pay monthly, etc. And if you want to get smart feature, you have to shell out how much more? About 30 to 33,000 more just for the smart feature. So I'm not sure what they are putting these in these vehicles.
Since DOA.
Vishnu, if you want to speak anything.
Even if you look at the ICE Activa, it is quite. I mean, compare if even if you look at the feature list, also it trails behind everything. All the competition from TVS or what else do we have Hero and stuff.
Bajaj, Chetak,
Huh. I
Chetak.
see, even in the EV space, the iQube makes more sense. iQube is, I think, what, around maybe 10,000 more. The base, I forgot the 2.2 kilowatt version. That makes more sense. And it's a well-rounded product as well.
I mean, yeah, I mean, TVS and Chetak, they are definitely doing good. But if this can do even 100, I mean, not even fleet guys would like to buy it, right? Why would you buy this Activa even for fleets? Makes no sense.
Exactly.
And
See, what I'm thinking is that they are either counting on the brand Activa, because Activa has been a very disputed, I mean, undisputed name in the name of scooters. Like every scooter is referred to as Activa. That uh, is
see, no one can disagree that Activa as in a ICE is a solid scooter. But even if you look at design wise, the Activa Electric, it's kind of look, cheap stuff and Chinese design a little bit.
yes, very true.
But if they had to use the brand name Activa, they should have at least made it solid, and that should give the brand a boost. This is going to give Activa and especially EVs a bad name, because if someone buys it in the name of Activa, you cannot charge at home. You have to always go out at swap. Okay, I don't have enough range now. Find a swap station, or you can just come at home and charge. But no, that's not an option here. So I mean, you want to give swap, that's fine. Provide a plug for charging at least, or even the battery pack. You can take it out in your apartment or home, charge the battery pack, but no, you have to just swap it.
No, just wanted to add that battery pack, even for swap, they say it's 10 kilos and it's easy to handle and all that. I tried it at Bharat Mobility. It's not something that uh, a lot of people can handle it, I'm sure, but you're alienating a lot of people like women, or it's not going to be easy lugging that 10 kilo or 10, 12 kilo pack around. trying to slot it into a swap station, pulling one new out.
I mean, they can put a dedicated person there. That's but yes, you are definitely females or elders or small age kids, etc. But definitely this is I don't know what they were.
That dedicated person would have the best job. You will barely find someone coming to that point.
No, no. So it's not the swap stations that they already have. Actually, Honda has been deploying swap stations from quite some time,
Yes,
almost a
yes, you're
year,
right. Yes, yes.
2 years or so, at least in Bangalore.
Yeah, 3 years.
So there are a lot of three wheelers now who are using Honda swap stations. So it's not just going to be restricted to two wheelers. So if they put somebody there, I think he will have some work to do at least.
Okay, 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 okay.
Like
So Honda is a dead on arrival product. Now we have now the respect for Chetak, Bajaj. Now the respect for sorry, now the respect for Bajaj and TVS is really increased. At least they tried something, and both the vehicles are selling very well.
I mean, no, if you look at 35 rupees per kilowatt hour extra, you get a DC charging of 240 kilowatt hour cheaper in India. So, I mean, so you basically don't own the battery after paying 1.5 lakh, and you just get a shell that has some motor and some electronic and seat and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Just one thing I just came up to my mind. If for Evitara, Maruti need to add that lifetime warranty stuff like Mahindra had added. That can really be something more of an add-on to it, because a lot of people who are calling me, my dog friends and all the friends who are auto enthusiasts, they are really calling with the that we have taken a test drive of BEVs. They're really superb. And doc, they are giving one lifetime warranty for the batteries. So Maruti needs to add this thing also. I just forgot that point at when we discussed Avatara.
I think I said it last time these Mahindra and MG are definitely giving lifetime warranty, but there's still uncertainty of how it's going to work out after a certain period of time and what are they going to honor or not. So in my personal view, it's still better if there's some definite.
Definitely, there would be some riders. It's not like they would give जाओ भाई जी लो अपनी जिंदगी वो वाला काम नहीं होने वाला तो कुछ ना कुछ तो ऐड ऑन होगा उसमें.
I think
no,
MG
like
has
MG has limit on owners because like only I think the first owner gets the preferential treatment of having the lifetime warranty. Second owner, there is some stuff like under the lines.
There's point if you are so sure if you I mean why limit it to first owner only? What's the fault of the second owner? So that's a point. And
No, even for example, I think Motor Inc. posted a video on TVS IQ yesterday or day before yesterday. And even in TVS's the clauses of the where the warranty would be void, it is very strange and confusing as well. The few terminologies, for example, rust, and the vehicle should be
25 degrees
resting.
not exceed 25 degrees Celsius radiation
And
level.
it should have a minimum rest period of 3 hours. That's I do it sounds crazy.
And neither Mahindra nor MG have shared the detailed term and condition. Someone did said that MG guys told him that the degradation is limited to 3% per year. Uh, so, but I mean, up to what year are they going to honor? I mean, up to what low degradation you can go?
No, warranty in India has always been dicey, be it ICE or EV, right? So the brands will always
Absolutely.
find a way to dodge it. Take the case of there have been few cases where MG ZSEV owners have been reporting that the dealer is forcing them to claim insurance on something that has happened, and even in Hyundai it has happened with the Kona. So um, it's always going to be dicey, these kind of warranty claims. So whether it's lifetime, whether it's 8 years, brands are always going to try and find a way out.
Uh, No argument there because Tata or MG, yes, there are many cases. MG, we saw the BYD seal case. So Yeah, it's going to happen. So but I mean, yeah, still I like it if there's some definite terms. Okay, there's some still some chance, but lifetime warranty, there's nothing, they can deny it or accept whatever.
But I
No,
think now
lifetime
we
warranties.
should now shift to Mahindra. You know, the next topic would be Mahindra, right?
It would be Suzuki Access. I would just
Okay, okay,
say
yes, yes.
with
After
extra.
Suzuki,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So Suzuki have brought out their electric scooter Access. Prices are not yet revealed, but it has, as per media, 3.07 kilowatt hour battery pack. They are claiming a range of 95 kilometer, 4.1 kilowatt motor, 71 kilometer per hour top speed, and the kudos to Suzuki. I think these are the first major automaker uh, to have LFP cells in their scooter. So they will be coming with cylindrical LFP cells, and I think we have a high idea which those are. So we caught a video regarding of the Tata Goshen component pavilion, and Suzuki was mentioned there. So and we think the cylindrical cells are from Goshen, and the pack is coming from Tata Goshen JV. The cylindrical cell that you saw in the Nexon, etc. So that's are likely going to come in Suzuki EXS also. Price wise, hopefully they do better than Activa did.
Yes, yes. It needs to be.
uh, just couple of minute on the MG vehicles. One is Cyberster. So it's wait a second, is it? Yeah. So it comes with MG has revealed it, but not prices yet. It is going to be delivered via new premium showroom, MG Select. So the Cyberster, it comes with the 77 kilowatt hour of NMC pack, 150 kilowatt of peak DC charging, rear wheel drive and all wheel drive. Rear wheel drive is 250 kilowatt motor, and all wheel drive is combined 400 kilowatt of power, and 725 newton meter of torque, and 443 kilometer WLTP range on the all wheel drive, and rear wheel drive 507 kilometer WLTP. And I think it looks fantastic. uh, I'm not sure what the prices will be, but it's definitely good looking. And in China, the price seems to start at around 42 lakh. So have your guess on what it would start in India?
I think it should start around 60 plus. That should be a good zone.
Nikhil, I can probably share some not so insider information. At the Bharat Mobility, Mr. Rajesh Chauba mentioned to a few people that it will be between 50 and 60, closer to 50.
That would be a killer price. So I think MG is working on that strategy, which I used to say that if you are selling the vehicle initially, so you sell it at a lower price, you buy the market share, and you probably sell 10% more, and it covers that loss of that price you wanted to sell in initially. So that would be a killer price, sir. 50, 60 would be like the seal owners would just jump onto it.
No, he made that statement, and I think he even said that in press. He was talking to a reporter when I was there, so he mentioned that. But my personal opinion on this car is that although it's great, looks good, and got great spec, but these kind of cars they don't really sell too much. And you mentioned the seal. A seal owner would definitely, this is a two-door car. All these kind of things are there. That sentiment will be there that I want a proper sedan, and
So it's a
I don't
niche
know. I'm not
vehicle.
too sold.
It's quite a niche vehicle. Maybe there is a market for it. They must have done a kind of a survey, like how many we can sell. So it's a niche product. So MIFA, I think M9 would be selling more rather than this Cyberster, even if the M9 is expensive.
100%.
I think the Cyberster is more for the just brand. Yeah, we have this.
Just to establish MG Select, right? That we will be launching these kind of vehicles, right?
It's more of a halo car, right? The concept of halo car that every brand has, that they make it to make a statement. They try to sell it to
Yes,
make a
yes, right,
statement,
right.
but they don't really, they themselves don't expect it to sell well.
Right,
So,
right, right, right.
do you know the Cyberster is more heavy than a Tesla Model 3 long range all wheel drive. So that was someone asked about the curb weight of these, and the real wheel drive of Cyberster is more heavy than the long range all wheel drive of a Model 3. Just an interesting note that we did. And yeah, so M9, as you said, Dr. Saab, let me bring out its spec. So it comes with 90 kilowatt hour of battery. We couldn't find whether it is LFP or NMC, likely NMC. 430 kilometer of WLTP, and they say 565 kilometer WLTP city. 11 kilowatt AC, 150 kilowatt DC, 180 kilowatt motor with 350 newton meter torque, 180 kilometer per hour top speed, and it is front wheel drive. So, and its length is 5270 mm. So it's a long vehicle. And I think Akhil mentioned that if priced right, it will blow the carnival away.
Correct. I made that remark. At that time, I was hoping it would be around the 50 lakh mark, but it looks like it's going to be way more than that. So I'm not too sure anymore what kind of dent it will make for the car. And definitely, there is huge craze for this kind of vehicle because I think we all seen the carnival numbers, the previous generation at least. Uh, but the price of the current generation carnival put a lot of people off. So there is a definite demand for this segment.
Let's see how it does. And another BYD has revealed another vehicle, Sea Lion 7. So it is the first vehicle in India that would have the low voltage auxiliary battery as LFP. So entry in India of low voltage lithium batteries. It has 82.56 kilowatt hour LFP battery, obviously BYD blade cells. Uh, Real wheel drive, it comes with 567 NEDC range. It is a bit older version of European testing. 230 kilowatt motor, 380 newton meter of torque, and a dual motor comes with the 542 kilometer of NEDC range, 390 kilowatt combined power, and a 690 newton meter of torque. So it definitely does look amazing, and not sure what the prices will be. I have no idea.
It would be a good car. I've seen the vehicle at the Auto Expo. So it's got decent kind of space and looks a big vehicle. So someone who is worried about seals, ground clearance, would definitely look at this vehicle. I think they're starting booking and pricing by March, right?
Yeah, they are delivering at least I think 50 vehicles in March, 50 something.
Bookings are open.
Sorry, I couldn't see. If bookings are open, it should come to the shows by March, right? So
They
it should
have
sell
written
well.
early
My initial impression is it should sell well.
they have written early delivery for first 70 customers starting March 7th. So okay, BMW also launched a locally produced or assembled EV. It is iX1 long wheelbase. It doesn't exist anywhere in the world, this specific version. But the battery pack is same, 66.4 kilowatt hour of NMC battery from Kettle, 150 kilowatt motor, 250 newton meter of torque, 0 to 100 in 8.6 second. I mean, it's slow given what we have in Mahindra now. Uh, just 130 kilowatt of DC charging. It's yeah, fine, but given the price and all, uh, it starts at 49 lakh and 531 kilometer of ARA range. So, Akhil, did you saw this vehicle at Auto Show?
Yes, I actually did see it.
So, what was your impression?
I think it's a good car. People who want something that BMW badge. I think the C line is in the same bracket as this, and the Ionic is also not too far off now. People who are considering an Ionic, if they can stretch their budget and buy a at least perception wise a premium brand like the BMW, I think that would attract those kind of buyers.
And moreover, now Kia EV6 would be more expensive. So the BMW iX1 has really got a sweet spot.
But you get a higher battery pack in EV6.
I am a fan of X1. During our
You really
college
love
days, we
yeah.
used to say that it is 15, 20, it's 20 plus, 22 lakh something it launched. And we used to say, "Why India mein gadi, eventually it would start manufactured in India and we would get it at the lower price." And we did a new term known as TAXX. So, so now my friend called me 2 to 3 days back. Do you remember that we used to say that yeah X1 lenge? So it's got a double price now. So, but still, for me, this 49, this iX1 is really something which I would really love to own, if I'm able to. I have a fixation on this model. I can't tell
So
you.
you really are a
I
fan.
was not able to see the car personally because there was a corporate event going on, so I didn't wanted to bump into that. But I managed to get a short video of it. I love it.
Dr. Saab, I think they have a special buyback scheme for Hyundai Kona owners.
But still I have to get that budget. So it would be difficult. Not in current state, maybe after 2 or 3 years, maybe. Yes, I have a fixation on this I X1. Maybe I buy it and sell it in 6 months because of all the kind of things, but I just love this X1. I
So
love the
what is
X1
your
as a
most
as a brand actually in the BMW series, but this EV X1 I really love it. I just can't express how much I love it. Yeah.
okay, we understand that. So yeah, good news for Tata Nexon owners. There's a dark red edition 2025, and it comes equipped with ADAS. So it is the only variant of Nexon that has ADAS for now. Many have been asking for it. So yeah, Sagar, are you here finally or not?
Yes, yes. Nikhil, I'm. I am so sorry, guys. Let me apologize. I am actually on the highway, so that is the reason I was not able to connect continuously.
Okay,
No problems. You can just keep it and you can just drive also. I have done Twitter Spaces while driving. You just keep it on the side and you speak. No problems. So we were like we needed
Perfect.
to ask you what about your Mahindra test drive? Yes, just wanted to ask your experience on that.
Yeah, so Dr. Saab, yesterday evening at around 6, I had a test drive of XCV 9E.
okay.
First impressions, I drove the bigger one, so it had a fantastic, I'll start with the rear comfort. I think that was the most, enticing point. The rear comfort, the thigh support, I think I felt the best thigh support for a sub 30 lakh car. And that being an EV, that's so even better because in EVs, as we all know, the under thigh support as well as the height from the floor is pretty not comfortable in most of these EVs. But this being a skateboard platform, I think Mahindra has done a fantastic job. The more I appreciate, the less it will be. It's that kind of a comfort for the backseat. With regards to a drive, I think Mahindra has not only given a cocaine, but it's a LSD. The motor is just so amazing. It's so powerful that I think for 80% of first-time EV users, it will be, uncontrollable. That urge to, speed up would be too much. I think this is very impractical for, 80% of the new buyers, I would say. For controlled, people who know how to drive an EV, that's it's a dream.
So you really seem, just amazed by it.
So with regards to the steering, I think Mahindra has calibrated that very well. I would say 700 was sold very well in market with the numbers we see and on the roads. But I never liked its steering feedback. It was too light. Even when it sped up, the steering did not get particularly that heavy. But in this XEV, particularly, I would say that's been perfectly calibrated. It's almost like German driving dynamics, I would say.
So you said that
So that's
the
steering.
6E steering was
Sorry.
you said the 6E steering was light.
Yeah, it was very light. Yeah, 60 steering was very light. I think two common things I would say: the rear wheel spinning. Torque steer is too much in both the cars, but it's very well controlled in XUV9E.
Okay.
Comparatively, the B6 being a lighter car on paper, it has a evident torque steer that I could feel.
Okay, because someone test drove a BE6 and he said that the steering was super accurate and very predictive handling. So
Yeah, it's pretty good at handling, Nikhil. I'm. Let me be clear on that point. I am agreeing with that. But if I take both the cars on a comparative scale, I would say that I felt particularly that the XCV9 E was a much balanced handling and driving dynamics.
okay. And inside, how would you compare both?
Oh, inside, I would say the first thing about the B6, I would say it's a car for those people who love sporty cars, the those people who would enjoy something different out of the market, not the usual mundane interiors of the cars. It's that good. It's that good. But I would come to the backseat of the B6. It lacks serious thigh support.
Okay. So I mean, someone said that it was enough for him, but height I think he mentioned was 5'7", 5'8", something like that. So and did you feel any difference in the NVH level in both the cars? Yeah, Aditya, you can go on. I think Saga is having some issues.
Yeah, I just want to ask one thing. I had a question regarding this for a long time. That can underside support be done properly in an EV? Like since the high floor and everything, like can it be done properly?
Uh, I think it's some most common complaint in many EVs, but I think in SUVs, if it has enough height, it can be done. It in the lower, it can be issue little bit. So Aditya, did you got a chance to drive the Mahindra yet?
I've seen a V6 on the road.
Okay.
It looks pretty radical, to be honest. But no, not yet. I'm looking forward to drive one for sure.
Akhil, I think you got a chance to see them as well at some charging station, I think.
Yeah, they were out of our Bangalore office where we have a 120 kilowatt charger. So the first cars were here, and there were three of them. There were 9E and a 6E. Oh, sorry, 6. I have a flight on Indigo. I don't want to get that. So yeah, the cars are well. I actually got a chance to drive the test car at the proving grounds. I don't know. You guys are familiar. It's MSPT in Chennai. It's a test track. It was not much of a proper drive because it was a flat out open track. So couldn't really get too much of an impression from that. So the dealer has been offering. I think the Mahindra dealers here are trying to reach out to the old Reba Eco customers, trying to give them early test drives and so on. So I was also contacted, but I could not take the time out to try it out. But I'll try one soon properly.
Actually, I have seen both the vehicles at the Auto Expo, and the Mahindra Pavilion was like it was like buzzing. Don't know, maybe on the second day they allowed everyone to enter. I think post lunch, maybe that was the reason. But the pavilion of Mahindra was buzzing. It looked like a showroom, like people are visiting it, visiting for a new car launch, something like that. So the music system is really out of the world. So all had that A.R. Rahman song, all the cars, uh, that from Dog Wala song, yeah. So it was Jai Ho was like buzzing in all the cars, and everybody was sitting into the car experiencing it. And I would second the Saga's experience that the rear comfort of XCV9 is really superb. You you really have to feel that rear seat. It was really good. But I saw customers whose height was around about 5'7" above. Their head was very near touching to the rear one. I think that, to the roof. Yeah. So people were commenting about that, and on a whole, everyone was like, "Bhai, ye kya hai?" So everyone was stunned to see the vehicles. That is how you once you look at those vehicles, you just say, "Bhai, kya bana diya Mahindra ne?" And they want this kind of expression. It's a good thing that they've created an aspirational value with their EVs, and now it's just sorted software. Uh, Actually, I missed the Motor Octanes event, which is happening yesterday in Gurgaon, which is for dedicated EV enthusiasts. I just forgot to register, and all the slots have been completed now. So there is, and it was an early event. I think they have a 150-kilometer drive planned. So said that would be that would have been a good
And
experience. I just missed it. It's my mistake.
And no, no, for Dr. Saab, I would like to add, for those who love driving themselves, those who are, driving enthusiasts at heart, Dr. Saab, at the speed of around 40, 50, there was a visible, wheel spinning. So the motor power is that, it's that linear, or I would say that, spurty.
I think that
It's so
they
beautiful to
must have
drive. You can you
they
can
must
you can have
you're
fun.
right.
You can have fun with
They
that
must
car.
have done because with Mahindra cars, the ICE ones are invariably like that only. Even if you drive a Scorpio or a XUV 700, and even if the turbo units of 3XO, they just you just pedal, you just accelerate, and they just run off. So that's kind of they want it to be like that, right?
And they showed a graph that at almost all SOC, the voltage, the pack voltage was, almost constant. So that power delivery was linear at any SOC you want. So they have worked on that.
Just a cautionary point. When I was at the Bharat Mahindra stall, they had a demo kind of infotainment, just to showcase the audio and the infotainment. It was a standalone infotainment touchscreen. And when I was there, I don't know if it was that unit or what, but it was continuously rebooting. And it so happened that next to me there was a YouTuber or some kind of influencer. Uh, so that guy immediately started recording this, and I think now that is going viral.
And sir, recently got to something. I was traveling with Sundardeep, and he was telling me that sometimes what these YouTubers do is they make video and they start to blackmail the OEMs. They tend to do this. He said, "Nahi, I would just put it on the social media. This is what they do usually." I was like, "Come on, man, how can you do that?" We also get problems in our cars sometimes, but we don't land up we even for me, I usually get a lot of videos where I can just post and defame a brand. But personally, in this all years, I have learned is because it takes so much effort to engineer a car. There are so many people involved. So, so until and unless the OEM and the area sales manager, service manager, or the territory service manager is just not listening to the customer, and it's like dead end. Or someone has just gone to the consumer court, then it may be like you can just uh, amplify it or just want to take just post it so that some attention is done on that. But
So
I,
see,
but
people
sometimes I feel that people just don't like. Even today also there is an event. Today is there is an incident again going on with Mahindra. Their one vehicle is hit. I think it's going on Insta reel. Someone had sent that. I've not seen it because we were in the spaces. So even that Insta reel of Mahindra, that sensor one, ki sensor खराब हो गया जी, like I don't know why people do that.
Dr. Saab, Dr. Saab, I would like to raise a very important point. Like in ICE, we see that there are caps on the engine CC values, and they tax it accordingly. I would say this, around 210 kilowatt of power from Mahindra should be. I think it should be. They should give a disclaimer either, or government should tax them, because they are giving so much of power in the hands of maybe if any immature driver has it, it's like a weapon. it's going to be overly misused in areas such as Delhi, NCR, and maybe metropolitan cities, where people drink and drive, and they would create a havoc because it has to have some limit. I think it's too powerful of a motor.
with great power.
Just
If you remember the recent Porsche
I was
accident
just
in
I was
Pune.
just now just I was one thing that just came into my mind. If Sagar, an EV owner, is saying that Mahindra has got so much power, so it must have something like that for sure.
And I am comparing that with the
Yes,
MG
yes.
ZSAV, which is already
So what
too powerful.
happens once an ice one drives these cars, right?
Exactly. That's my point. It you will see stories after 6 months that there are these accidents and that accidents from Mahindra
Or
electric
six
vehicles.
months would be too much. Someone might even do it at delivery. So, but I think, yeah, if
One has happened there is Insta reel going on in a test drive, I think. The
but
red
I mean,
one.
Sagar, if someone wants to do some mischief, there are already cars out there, people out there doing dangerous stuff. So it won't be just Mahindra. And people don't even spare Swift. Just Swift, they do stunts on the Swift in the roads of Delhi and Gurgaon and all. So I think that becomes a separate issue.
There's that old saying: "Great power comes great responsibility."
And even all ice Mahindras are known for these kind of stuff, no? So they want to maintain it with the EVs also.
Yeah, I mean, Thar owners already have a image.
No, but Akhilji, you said with great power comes great responsibility. People are not even responsible in current, powerful engines, whatever segment they are using. So I am very afraid. I'm telling as a EV owner, I am genuinely concerned that Mahindra is, giving weapons in the hands of, wrong people. If these things happen.
No, agreed with you. You could say that there are a lot of even new when people are coming from ICE to EV, they themselves are not able to adjust the instant torque. So if you're finding even more torque and power at this price point, so it is going to be, let's say, it's going to be very interesting. At least, uh,
That is why I would say government will definitely impose taxes in the future according to the kilowatt power of the motor very soon, I think, because they should. I think this is like giving AK-47 in the hands of wrong people.
At some point they will, but right now they won't because the sales are not too much in market right now.
Right now, we just want RTO exemption and 5% GST. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
The government should not see into the power and all those things, right?
But
maybe
yes,
a good time to be in insurance business.
but Saga is definitely like that. The capability that Mahindra has given at this price point are just you generally don't expect it, and it's very so. Aditya, yeah, you want to come in?
Just imagine, we were talking about so much power with the Mahindras. When the Tata Harrier comes with the dual motors with 500 Newton meters of torque and 300 horsepower plus power, just imagine what the scenario will be.
Uh, yeah, yeah. So Harrier AWD is also coming, and it has summon mode and all. Also, they have provided it. Yeah, let's see. It's a definitely interesting market. I hope they sort out the software and the charging in Harrier. I want at least 150 to 200 kilowatt DC charger. So, Sagar, Dr. Saab, anything to add regarding Mahindra EVs?
So I think everything has been added. Now let's see how their test drives go. I have a test drive planned on I think Tuesday. So I missed that Motor Octon event, but let's see. But yes, after Sagar's excitement, I'm more keen to drive it now.
Okay, so let's move on to I think another company, Gensol, as you have heard. So they have brought out a very interesting product. We all knew for a long time that it's going to be here. It's a tricycle, one tire in back, two in front, uh, two-seater electric vehicle. They are aiming it at fleet at in the starting, just B2B market to start with, and it has a 16.7 kilowatt hour LFP pack, 200 kilometer of claimed range, 80 kilometer per hour top speed, AC Type 2 7 kilowatt charging. Uh, Akhil, do you see its utility, especially in the fleets?
I suppose so. Maybe in the last mile connectivity, I mean, I saw the size of it, and it's not as big as a rickshaw, but sorry, it is slightly bigger than a rickshaw, smaller than a small car, smaller footprint at least. So I suppose it will have paper. And Gensol has their own, at least not anymore. I don't know if you guys got the news. BlueSmart has sold their entire fleet to resets and they will lease them back. So they are going for asset light kind of model, but they will continue to sell vehicle in that same manner and that BlueSmart. So they have their own internal demand for such vehicles, right? So they might just start operations like, let's say, the metro stations, these kind of applications. So I suppose it could be well.
Someone pointed out that Comet is already here, so I think if they can price it couple of lakhs lower than the Comet, then I definitely see it having a market. And in some interview, I saw them aiming it at replacing the two-wheeler taxis that we are having these days. That it's safer than that, and etc. etc.
But my biggest concern about this vehicle is that a lot of people comment on the camera picture. To me, it doesn't look like a safe car. It's like, doesn't have adequate protection. So these kind of comments will be like this. So the closest similar vehicle we have right now is the Bajaj Qute, right? So I think it might compete with them.
So they bought a cargo version also. I think that would have much more taker, and it has also two seats also. So I mean, if someone wants a dual use vehicle, taxi and as well as payload capacity for ferrying things, so it gets the same pack, 16.7 kilowatt hour, same motor 14.5, 800 kg of payload capacity. So that's quite significant. Same AC 7 kilowatt type 2 charger. So I think it's named EGI boat. So I think this boat one might see much more use than the other one. Apart from themselves, they would definitely use it for themselves. Okay, yeah. So just to wrap it up, I will give some detail about some Tata commercial vehicles that they have brought out. So they are going to bring out a smaller version of the current Ace. It is named Ace Pro. It would have 14.4 kilowatt hour of LFP pack, 155 claimed range, 104 Newton meter of torque, and surprisingly, it get ADAS, lane departure, front and pedestrian collision warning. It also mentions firmware OTA. So that's a kind of a new word from Tata. I'm not sure if it includes powertrain, but if it does, it's definitely something that Tata EVs currently don't get. And it has 750 kg of payload capacity. Uh, and the second one that they are bringing is slightly bigger than the Ace. It is named Intra. It is based on the Intra Ice. So it gets a 28.2 kilowatt hour LFP pack, and it has a payload capacity of 1.75 ton, 150 kilometer claimed range, and I think someone will not like this. It gets a V2L capability as well. Because some people are complaining about Mahindra not having it. So
Right, right.
so, and it gets ADAS, firmware OTA, and driver face ID. Do you see that? I mean, wow. Okay.
Sorry, Nikhil, I just
Actually,
wanted the B2L part. A lot of our earlier doctors, we kept on trying to publicize the advantages of how we can travel long distances on EV. None of that made an impact unless those videos of you guys making chai, making puri,
Yeah,
So those things will end up selling more EVs than actually people driving long distances in EVs. I think.
maybe.
Sorry, I have
Few reels recently went viral about this. Someone is doing it in the mountains at home, making halwa with
An
gajar halwa.
interesting thing was once these reels went viral, Hyundai was marketing Creta as V2L, V2, marking as V2L. The real videos were coming about Curve, but and the Kia EV6 and the two, three videos came. So, but it was and Creta officially they were marketing Hyundai guys that this is happening.
Uh, I think for Mahindra they can lower the motor power and the saved money they can put to for V12 because people definitely want it. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Tata is also bringing an electric truck, Ultra E.12. It has a payload capacity of 6,400 kilogram, and you can get multiple battery pack variant ranging between 96 to 300 kilowatt hour as per your use, 120 to 350 kilometer of claimed range. It has CCS2 charging port, 250 kilowatt motor. It also get ADAS, it also get firmware OTA, and it also has solar panel on the container for the auxiliary load and the low voltage battery. So I think Tata is planning to do some great things in the commercial goods vehicle market at least.
Nikhil, I don't know if you missed this, but even Eicher, Volvo Eicher has really launched something like very similar vehicles.
I'm not able to hear you clearly, Akhil. I'm not sure if it's my network or it's your.
Sorry, is it better now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So I was saying even Volvo Eicher has released, launched very similar.
Yes, they are also already testing.
So it's a good move. At least the commercial segment, very quickly.
Right. I mean, the 2024 saw less electric truck in India than 2023. So maybe this year we will finally see some increase in the electric truck segment. And yeah, and there's another version. It doesn't have trailer. It is heavy electric truck from Tata. It gets a battery pack of 300 to 450 kilowatt hour. It has dual port CCS2 fast charging, 470 kilowatt motor, 2455 newton meter of torque, ADAS, firmware OTA. So they haven't revealed these prices yet. They have just showed these are the vehicle and these are the variant. And I think design wise, even they look good. So yeah, I think the commercial segment is finally getting exciting. And there are a couple more OEMs like Omega Seki and Montra. They have also launched, but I was trying to find the correct data. Their website shows something and media article shows something. So I am trying to get the correct
No, no,
data.
but Nikhil, one question is there. If Tata is launching with this heavy e trucks, will they get a high voltage critical error or super high voltage critical error?
Man, I don't think Goshen is making these battery
That
packs.
would that would be a high voltage driver error. That driver would scold the owner of the fleet, right?
No, I think we would need Priyank for this question.
That's a good one. That's really a good one.
Oh man, this high voltage critical error has been. I don't know. See, so it's the Goshen pack is
So
the
I
100%
call
EV
it
also coming in.
this HVC error in terms of in medical terms I call it a STD. Nobody wants to talk about it in Tata because it's a STD kind of a thing. And if you really want to own a Tata EV, you need four lemons and probably 12 what do you say हिंदी में मिर्ची
Mirchi.
बोलेंगे है ना तो if you see Mr. Chandrasekharan's video of
Delivery.
the image which comes where he takes the delivery of his Nexon Max, so you can see those lemons under the tires. That's so you need to do that thing if you want your Tata cars free of any errors. That's just a joke apart, just a thing.
So I mean that software part Tata definitely has to figure out. And I mean Tata has a whole ecosystem. They have their whole TCS and etc. And they do research and development for other automakers. If I will name one is coming in India, that is VinFast. So it has been heavily researched and developed by Tata Technology and I think Alexis. Yeah, VinFast is not without issues. I think this is not a good example. Yeah, they also did the battery swap and structure for Neo in 2015.
But they had a good pavilion, you know. They had all kind of their EVs. Like
They
so, I loved their VF3. That's a tailor-made car for India. They should launch it.
without issues, please. They should launch it.
Yes, even if it has issues, you can push it to the side because it's a very sweet vehicle. I loved it, you know.
I mean, the VF8 that Western market got, I mean, yeah, that was not a good look on the VinFast. They rushed it, they have been rushing it. So hope they will take their time, fix the things, and then launch here. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Anything else you guys want to discuss or mention? Aditya Sagar.
I think we just saw. I think if I can add this Hyundai's that e-rickshaw. That's not a great term to it, but that was a very good concept which they showed EC3 and EC4. That looked really very good, you know.
I mean,
And another thing I saw was TVS e-bike, EB1. They are launching it in I think 4 months. That was also a good product.
so I haven't still gotten around to going through all the products. So I'm choosing two, three each day.
And Tata had that Harrier all-wheel drive. More EVs, I think e-Vitara we have covered. Kia EV6 update is coming.
Yes.
Nothing from the Ioniq 5 update.
Uh,
Maybe they will launch it later,
I think they still have some
or
more
they just
slots.
want to sell the older Ioniqs first
Just like Kona.
across the
I
world,
mean,
you
they
know.
didn't update Kona, so Ioniq is still pretty new.
That is right. So I think we've probably covered everything which happened in the Auto Expo related to the EVs. That solar car, yeah,
That I
the
haven't looked
VAE.
at the features and all that yet. I still to go through it. There's another one, Porsche Macan EV, and Taycan Turbo's new latest version. So I think Macan gets prismatic NMC from Cattle. That's
Yeah, one more question from me. If I may have missed it, but what do you guys think about the MG M9?
so yeah. We discussed.
It's a good product. It will really go with the it will compete with I think Wellfire and your Carnival, two cars it will compete, and it should do well. It's a good product.
Yeah, so I think many media guys didn't like this auto expo. They too much electric, too much. Someone complained about not having concepts. I'm like, why do you want concepts when you have the real thing? So they didn't. They probably wanted for the media clicks and all, but I think this was very electric heavy. That's true, and this is where the future is moving towards. It was just
But I think it should happen. It should happen twice a year, not every year, because the zeal ends. You know, there is nothing exciting. Everything, and it's costly to for OEMs to get these stalls and all those things.
yeah. I mean, and there are not enough product to show in just 1 year. Uh, so
You're right. You're right.
but I think next one is happening in 2026. Someone showed a billboard or somewhere. But let's see what happens. I was not able to, me and Sagar, we had planned, but we were not able to go this time. Maybe we will go next time and meet you all, Akhil and Dr. Saab, next time there.
For sure. No, I think the organizer, I read an article, the organizer was saying that they are talking to all the stakeholders and trying to make it a yearly event. But there's a lot of resistance. As you said, it's very expensive. And most automakers believe that once in a 2 year event will uh, have more interest rather than a yearly event.
Definitely.
And it makes sense. Like Evinia was like last in 2020, I think it was shown, or 2022. 2022 Evinia was showed, right? And by the next time when Auto Expo happens, 2 years, you will have an Avinia X as production. So it makes sense. The concept this year, then in 2 years you have a production model. That makes really a good sense. Every year, maybe some OEMs will have their products running, some would have their concepts. So it's kind of both ways. But I still feel that it should happen in the first week of Feb rather than in January because it's too cold, fog is there. Maybe they should just change it with respect to the weather. It should be the first week of Feb.
A first week of Feb is budget session, can't have media day.
So you can happen this Auto Expo on Valentine's Day, no problems.
Yeah, that's perfect. We will all be free there.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you.